Good evening, friends. I'm Swpna Kulkarnii. I'm founder of Abhillabh Private Limited in the field of renewable energy, and we are solution specialists and promote use of green energy at large to reduce use of fossil fuels. I'm also the Mumbai Chapter President with WEDO. WEDO is Women Entrepreneurship Development Organization founded by Mrs. Kadambari Umapathy in the year 2015 to financially empower women through entrepreneurship. We do as a club a platform where we focus on developing business through contacts, networking, and collaborations. We believe in empowering women entrepreneurs by providing required training programs, e-learning platform, and a business consultations. Today, Video has its presence in six cities: Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Coimbatore, and Pune, and we are still growing. Friends, to eat is a necessity, but to eat intelligently is an art, and it is said that it's an ongoing process of learning and discovering. Amongst the prevailing health issues in India, which includes mental health, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, respiratory diseases, to name a few, it is also observed that diabetes affects around 422 million people globally, and with the majority residing in low and middle income countries, and diabetes is directly responsible for 1.5 million fatalities per year. Yes, these numbers are quite alarming, and it's time to embrace the change. But until you get your nutrition right, nothing will change. Every human being is the author of his or her own health or disease. And wellness is an active pursuit that is associated with intentions, choices, and actions as we work toward an optimal state of health and well being. And it is in the complete integration of body, mind, and spirit. The realization that everything we do, think, feel, and believe has an effect on our state of well being. Our guest this evening is holistic nutrition coach, certified diabetes educator, fitness nutritionist, clinical dietitian, and a director as applied holistic and clinical nutrition. She carries more than 15 years of experience and helps people manage their health and not their diseases. Her expertise is in the area of women's health, primarily on PCOS, hormone imbalances, hypothyroidism, weight management, weight gain or weight loss, diabetes type 1 and type 2. She is on a mission to help people reverse their chronic health conditions by understanding and educating the disease at a root cause level. She has many accolades to her kitty, which includes RNA Sadhana Award 2022 India Nutrition Entrepreneur. She is a Vision Womanry Indian Award 2023 Inspiring Nutrition Entrepreneur. She has also received Grand Queen's Leadership Award 2023 as Best Nutrition Leader. She has also received International Inspirational Woman Award 2023 as Best Woman Performer in Food and Diet Industry. And that's not it. You can also see her on television through Mega TV, Aniv Maruntu, and Namathu TV, Maruthuvuram. Please welcome our guest, Mrs. Revati Prasad, holistic nutrition coach, founder, Revati's Diet and Destiny, and also Vice President of WeDo Chennai. Revati, welcome to WeDo Connect Dialogues.
Thank you so much, Swapna. That was a warm welcome and a good evening, all. Thank you so much for having me here. And yes, Swapna, I'm excited for the session for the next one
Lovely,
hour.
and so are we because I think that today's session, Revati, is going to be super eye opening. And I think it's going to really add a lot of value and a lot of benefit to all our viewers because this is something which we're talking about the current, alarming trends, especially health. And I think, yes, we are in a world that we need that kind of, we need those kind of mentors or those kind of people who can guide us, help us to make our health really a good or a healthy living. So, Revati, before we begin, if you could please introduce us, yourself, and your brand. A quick introduction about you, please.
Right. So as you said, I've been working for past or practicing as a nutritionist for past 15 plus years right now, and I've been working under a lot of organization. I've almost covered every area of wherever a nutrition can work. So I worked in hospitals, clinics, and I just embarked as a founder in my own brand name, Revti's Diet and Destiny, in the year 2021, and now it's almost now 2 years I've started my own brand. And this is actually giving me a lot of confidence because you have your own trial and experimenting things, and it is really giving me a lot of confidence and so much of experiences, and the knowledge, the learnings is actually helping me out to practice it under my brand name. And I actually started working as a holistic nutrition coach after I joined holistic nutrition training program. Who's the founder of the program is Dr. Suresh Kumar. He is in Hyderabad, and he is the one who actually transformed me in a span of 3 years. Now it's been 3 years. I'm connected with HNTP and the HNW, that is holistic nutrition works. And you are seeing a different Revati. Rather, I can say 3 years before and 3 years after, I'm completely a different person. I'm not a person who actually faces the camera with ease and confidence, but today I'm able to do it because of this program. So this is a very brief introduction about me. So moving on, yeah, I'll be sharing my learnings and
Lovely,
knowledge,
lovely.
whatever
A,
from my
a
experience.
very,
Yeah.
very warm welcome to you, Revati. And I think at WeDo we are really, really blessed to meet such wonderful women. Coming from different areas and bringing in so much of talent. I think it's really wonderful. So, Revati, as a brand says, it's your holistic nutrition coach. So of course today we understand holistic is mind, body, soul, spirit, all those things. So if you could just tell us a little more that what we really mean when it comes to holistic nutrition, because I think yes, we are hearing a lot about nutrition, about a total well-being that we need to look at, but what exactly it is something which, if you can put in a little more light and enlighten our audience that what exactly we mean when it comes to holistic and nutrition.
Definitely. So, see, people nowadays started using this tag holistic, and there are a lot many definitions is going around. But what I actually would love to share is holistic is all about um, completely addressing a problem. It could be a medical condition, or holistic means it. You cannot separate a person by his physical means. A person is a complete when he or she is put together. So what are put together? His mind, body and soul. I can even more give it precisely, like the belief system, the conditioning, the thought process, the feeling every day you have, day in and day out, and what you feel every time. These things actually have a very great impact on your physical being. So, say for example, if Revati is not just a physical body. Revati is her habits. Revati is her sum of thoughts. No, it's sum of belief system. What I keep on vibrating. So everything put together is holistic. So what happens is people think that holistic means along with diet, okay, some kind of a lifestyle change, and along with that they are thinking that okay, adding some Ayurvedic principle or adding some yoga, some meditation, that actually covers up the entire reversing a condition. That's what people think as holistic, but holistic is not just that. Holistic is something that okay, if I believe something, where did I pick up the belief from? When, from where I started believing in, and what I exactly vibrate every now and then. More of spiritual awakening, more of consciously being aware of yourself, what kind of a person I am. See, many a times what we think is at a conscious level we are a different person, and at a subconscious level we are definitely the total opposite. That's what
Right.
I've been observing since 3 years of my personal practice, my private practice. So that's what I'm able to sense it. So it's always you know uh, very important to address a person rather than addressing the diseases. That's what our mentor Dr. Suresh Kumar always used to say. That's what Hippocrates said. It's always better to treat a person rather than treating the condition. So we always focus on the person, right? So this is holistic. It is like finding the cause of the cause. Why, say for example, somebody is coming to me for a weight loss. So we have to first find out why did they gain the weight at the first place. Okay, there could be so many reasons. Like say for example, if the person has ended up having too many calories, more than is or her requirement, we have to find out why did they indulge into such kind of activity. And we
Right.
start asking questions. They will say like, ma'am, I was, whenever I feel stressed out, then I start eating. Sometimes only when we ask those questions, they come up with the answer. They become really aware. They say at the end of the session, ma'am, otherwise I never knew that I am a stress eater until you asked this question. Now I'm able to connect. So it is like cause of the cause. Okay, why stress then? So it is not just the diet, not just the lifestyles, but it is all put up together as holistic, and that's what we practice.
Lovely, lovely. A very, very important point brought in, because I think today at every level. I think everyone, right from the childhood, I think, and adulthood, coming to adulthood, and as a teenager, as an adult, or as a working professional, everyone is going through some of the other stress. Probably it could be the stress of studies, it could be the stress of proving themselves, it could be the stress of their jobs, the family responsibilities. And yes, I think in this whole ecosystem, we don't understand that where exactly did we plunge, or where exactly did we get into the line of overeating or eating the wrong kind of foods, or finding because I think I've been listening to this a lot. We generally tend to eat wrong kind of food because we're trying to find the pleasure in it. And we tend to get into these kind of unhealthy habits or unhealthy food habits, because I think even as a child you need to prove. Nowadays there's a lot of pressure on being learning the motor skills, showing people, doing this, doing that, being present. I think the fear of me losing out, or fear of me not being there, I think that stress is something which is really important, taking a toll on everyone's health. Fantastic. So, Revati, what do we really mean by nutrition when we understood holistic? Now, what does really nutrition mean? For people to understand what really nutrition is, if you could just enlighten our audience.
Wonderful. So, see, let me explain it with an example. Okay. So, first of all, our body is like it, as we nowadays we call it as AI, artificial intelligence. There is something
Yeah,
is called, body's intelligence, right? Body is, amazingly smart. It is amazingly intelligent, right? But the body is made up of what? So the question now comes, so what we put in is our body is made up of. So what we put in inside, obviously the food, right? And from the food what we are going to get is the nutrients, right? So whenever there is a need, when you are going to supply the right kind of nutrients, or rather I can say the raw materials, body can simply repair it, regenerate and rejuvenate also. And it can definitely maintain its optimum level of functioning on its own. We don't have to intervene anything, as long as we're able to focus, or we are able to do some justification in terms of eating a balanced diet. Okay, so now come the example. See, we all know the human body is formed from a single cell of the woman and single cell of the male, that is
right,
one egg and one sperm, right? And it
right,
fuses and eventually it develops, right? But the question or the point to ponder here is, how did the body know or senses, okay, now these cells are going to become heart, these cells are going to become kidney, these cells are going to become intestine. So it is actually doing it on its own. Nobody commands, none of the mother commands when the baby is inside the womb, come on now start developing as a, we never do that. So that is called body's intelligence. Body knows how to build it, right? And the moment you start giving, supporting right kind of, with right kind of environment, with right kind of food, it are automatically going to do that process in a very very efficient manner. Okay, so now imagine there is an architect, okay, and his house is actually in damage. Okay, the person who built his own house, he knows how to fix it up, because he's by profession is an architect, he knows how to fix it up. Say for example there is a cracked roof, or cracked floor, or some leakage happening in the walls, he now knows how to repair it. Okay, but can he repair it on his own with this simple empty hands? No, right? He has to
yeah,
go to the shop, get the raw materials, then he has to use his skill, and then he repairs it. So now when it comes to body also is the same. It knows how to repair itself. But the problem here is, if the architect goes to the shop and doesn't get the raw materials required, okay, now even though the architect know how to restore all these problems, he has to just fold his hands and he has to simply sit looking at all the damages happening, because he doesn't have the raw material. Similarly, the body knows how to repair its own self,
hmm,
provided you give the right nutrients. If you
right,
don't give the right nutrients, the body, even though it know how to repair it, it will keep quiet. So that
right,
is how the power of nutrients or the nutrition is actually. People doesn't understand that. Every day, whatever you eat and whatever you omit, everything has an impact. Either it could
Right.
be a positive impact or it could be a negative impact. But the challenge here is what we choose and how much are we knowledgeable in choosing the right kind of food. So that's where a nutrition comes into play.
Lovely, lovely. Well explained, Revati, that yes, today we really don't understand what are we trying to put inside our body, because I think we we are so running around with things in such a fast-paced life. I think our basic we are ignoring our basic stuff, that is taking care of our health and our body. I think that is the least attended portion, and everything else comes important because that's going to basically eventually take care of our necessities and our living. So it's very important that we look at our body, we look at what kind of food we intake, what kind of impact it is going to have. And at the same time, Revati, today we see a lot of programs in the market, a lot of nutrition stuff happening. Every second person talking about it. So how do we understand that this is the right, what is the right kind of nutrition that one should take? So what would be your suggestion on these issues that we face today?
Right. So let me ask you one question. Say for example, if you are getting a jackpot and you won a very expensive car, okay, and but you don't know driving, you don't know how to drive, right? So my question is, you have an expensive car and you got it as a gift or a prize, and you don't know how to drive, but you want to drive. So what will you do? What do you
Look for
do?
a professional driver. I mean, who would help you to drive the car.
Perfect, perfect. So either you look for a professional driver or you get into a driving school, learn proper driving, then you take up the car, right? You
Yes.
don't go into WhatsApp asking your friends help how to drive a car, or rather you don't go into the YouTube and ask search for like the videos how to drive a car. You don't do that, right? Right?
Yeah.
Now the same question when it comes to your health. You want to lose weight or you want to optimize your health, or it could be like handling any kind of health condition for that matter. How many of them really go to a professional,
True.
right?
True.
So what
True.
they do, either they go ask their friends or their neighbors, they near and near ones, they Google it. Dr. Google is always there, YouTube is there,
True. True.
right?
True.
And how many of them really check the authenticity of that site?
Yes.
Who has spoken about it? Who has written the blog? Are they really professionally qualified? They don't. Now the question here is, for us, materialistic things are more expensive than our own body, than our own
Yes.
health,
Yeah.
right?
True. True.
So the problem here is people don't understand the value of the healthy body, healthy sound body. One Only a person who is suffering with some kind of an ailment particular to some kind of an organ dysfunction or organ failure. Now go ask a kidney failure patient or a person and ask him how important kidney is in his life or in her life, who are on dialysis,
Yeah.
right?
True. True.
Now you just, they will be waiting for a transplant. Now ask for the transplant cost, ask for the kidney cost. Now if we are going to see each organ, the prices, the value of it, then we really understand how much we own inside our body. It is like precious, priceless, right?
True.
So people has to have that kind of a awareness that they have to go get a professional help. Stop googling everything because Google doesn't know what you're going through. See, when
True.
it comes to food, emotions are more connected, right? Food and
Right.
emotions are like very very tightly knitted. We cannot separate. Okay, imagine you being as a child. Okay, just go back to your childhood days and you just remember suddenly of tasting your grandma's recipe or your mother's recipe. It immediately connects, make you feel something else. It's not just the food, right?
True. True.
And
True.
emotion plays a very major role. That's the reason stress eating has become very common, because
Yeah.
people have started searching the solace. I mean, they feel more comfortable the moment they eat the food. They feel that the reward center is immediately answering. They feel kind of relieved. So that kind of it's like handling a knife, both without a handle. both sides it's sharpened edges. So
Yeah.
the person who wants to really have a proper health, or they really want to respect their own body, their physical body, whoever values their health, they definitely will reach a professional. That's of no doubt. That's what I'm seeing since the last 3 years.
Certainly, I mean, very well points said. Today, since AI or Google that you really mentioned, everything is available, but we don't really know the authenticity of the information if it's really right for you. And I think every person is or every individual has different health conditions, and I think which works with one may not work with another one. So there is always a customized or probably tried and tested kind of a package, and for that you really definitely need to go to a proper mentor or a proper guide who can really help you overcome the worst adverse health conditions and come back to your normal health. So which is a very important topic brought up, Revati. We understand that you specialize into women health, basically into PCOS, hormonal imbalancing, diabetes. So coming to this commonly heard word, hormonal imbalance. So what do we really mean by what is a hormone, and what happens when it's imbalanced? What are its effects? So if you could just give more information about this, I think our viewers would have more clarity on what we are really talking about.
Absolutely. See, hormones are nothing but they are chemical messengers. Okay, so these hormones are like, what happens is these hormones, it is connected with the feelings, with the emotions. So basically, the hormone release or the hormone regulation is being controlled by the hypothalamus. So it's a small part which is in the brain, and this hypothalamus is always considered as a seat of emotions. So what happens is whenever a person is happy or sad or anxious, every single feeling keeps giving a message to the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus sends signal to the body, and that's how it communicates to the body through the hormones. So hormones is basically a chemical messenger, and every hormone, there are so many hormones, and every hormone is working directly or indirectly on the organs. And these hormones, it has to be in balance, because one hormone doesn't work independently, but rather every hormone is interconnected and everything is interlinked. It is not like, as I said, the holistic definition, the hormones are like very much interconnected. We cannot separate, and we cannot handle any case or anybody who's suffering with hormone imbalance. So hormones are like, it always give a domino effect. One hormone, if it is affected, or some or the other problem, say for example the hormone is not produced properly, or it could be the production is very good but it is not functioning as effectively as it should. So these things actually start creating a kind of a domino effect. So where one hormone falls or one hormone fails, it comes low in the graph, automatically the other hormone starts jumping. So on a whole, this becomes a hormone imbalance. So now what happens here is the hormone imbalances has to be corrected, but majority of the cases, what happens is they just look into that particular hormone which actually is looking abnormal in terms of values, but that doesn't work that way. We have to really work with the person who is going through a lot of emotional outbursts, a lot of emotional imbalances. We have to correct it there, and then we have to correct the hormone imbalance. So, say for example, we all know, let me talk, very common thing is diabetes. So diabetes is nothing but there is a problem with the insulin hormone. So the insulin is one which mediates or which regulates the sugar in the blood circulation, and in overall it has to be maintained. The carbohydrate metabolism depends on the insulin production and its function. So now what happens here is, it is either the insulin production is not really good, or the insulin production is happening but the cells are not able to sense that this is insulin. So there is two different categories. So this area where the insulin production is there but it is not functioning, then it is called insulin resistance, we call it as IR. So this insulin resistance, what we need to do is we have to really work upon how to increase the sensitivity of the insulin. So what happens here is the body's production of insulin is actually sufficient, but the working capacity of the insulin is not being attained. So here, as a dietitian, as a nutritionist, what we do is we try to include more food which will actually increase the insulin sensitivity, and in turn it actually reduces the need for medication because the body is already producing enough insulin. The problem was the insulin couldn't act as it should. So now we will start including more of food which actually increases the insulin sensitivity, and then we are able to achieve a kind of good sugar regulation in the blood, and eventually we taper the medication with the doctor's help, and then we can get literally out of the medication once they are done with this, the target is achieved. So this is how it goes. So hormone imbalance itself is a very huge topic to cover. So this is one simple example what I can right now share it with you all.
Lovely, lovely. Revati, certainly, because I think this is a very commonly used term that hormonal imbalance is causing this, is causing that. But there was a lot of confusion of exactly what it is, how does it function, its implication on our body. Because I think nature has made such a wonderful creation. This is such a wonderful, a living human being is a wonderful creation of God, and as you rightly said, that it has that capacity to repair itself. All we need to look at is how that how good can we take care of it, what kind of right things that we can do with our body to keep the body healthy and have a longer life. Fantastic. So Revati, you just spoke about diabetes. So if you could tell us a little more that the difference that we today hear, oh, I have type 1 diabetes, oh, I have type 2 diabetes. So what exactly is the difference, and uh, why, of course you just said that why diabetes is caused, but what is the difference between type 1 and type 2?
Okay, so see, type 1 and type 2, it is basically differentiated on the basis of insulin production. So what happens in type 1 diabetes is these people, they don't have those enough cells to produce insulin. So there is a deficit in insulin production as such. But in type 2, this kind of insulin production dropping down, or the insulin sensitivity is not happening as it should happen. This is caused because of lifestyle disorder, I can say. It is like, the lifestyle is not very well managed by the person, and then they eventually end up having type 2 diabetes. So type 2 diabetes, definitely, if we are going to focus on their emotions, their diet, their lifestyle, and see, it is not really nowadays a person suffering with type 2 is always on obese or overweight category. Even with normal weight also, we do come across patients, clients who suffer with diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And in fact, gone are those days when I was studying, when I started my practice, I used to see people above the age of 50 or 50 plus were, very common with type 2 diabetes. But in a span of like, 2 decades, I can say, even with very very lesser age, like for example 20, 25, and all, I have done lot of corporate events. So I used to go for diabetes awareness program, where we check randomly the sugars for those employees who were there in the corporate. So we used to see a lot of diabetic people, and first time when we go for the checkup, they would have come randomly. By then, it'd be the first time that they would have known that they are diabetic, and they're very much shocked because they say like, ma'am, I'm just 25, I'm just 27, how can I end up having all these things? See, majority of the cases, yes, weight do play a role, but it is not just the weight, but there is something beyond that which we have to address when it comes to type 2 diabetes. But type 1 diabetes, definitely, yes, I have handled a case, type 1 diabetes, where a girl was suffering with uncontrolled sugars at the age of 13, and she is being type 1 since the age of 3 years, and she was always underweight. And you know what, doctors keep prescribing insulin injection, they keep on increasing the units, But the sad part is they don't have the time to really monitor the patient, how they are injecting insulin, how they are eating, what is the time that they are maintaining between the insulin injection and the food, and are they really active physically. So these things they definitely miss out. And as a nutritionist, as a dietitian, we have a better scope to build in that gap, to build the bridge between the doctor and the patient. And this girl, who are always underweight from her age, from 3 years, now this girl has gained 5 kg in just 52 days. And the
Oh,
doctor who were handling her were literally asking me, what did you do? We've been struggling with this girl to make her gain weight. We hardly achieved a kg of weight gain, though she was growing for her age, but we never hit that normal BMI, that growth chart.
right,
So, why am I telling all these things is sometimes we think science is like, rocket science. It is very difficult for us to handle cases, but it is very easy if we start connecting with the person who's actually suffering, getting the maximum details, the maximum very, very small details, which we often overlook, or we
right,
just pass on. So that has to be really taken care, and history taking makes a very important tool for us to achieve such results. So type 1 is also easily manageable provided they get in touch with the right kind of professionals. And type 2, we are reversing it. We, in the sense, as I already told you in the beginning, in HNW Holistic Nutrition Works, we are like almost 100 plus coaches who've been working with various cases, and we have reversed almost 200 plus cases till now of various health conditions. I'm not talking just about the diabetes, even cancer we have reversed. Okay, and the
wow,
doctor who was addressing, handling the cancer patient, he was completely blown out. He actually asked the patient, like, which doctor you consulted without notifying me. They have told, no, we consulted a dietitian. And then eventually that doctor connected with the coach, and now she is able to get some clients from the doctor itself, because the doctor is very much impressed with the improvement. See, end of the day, medical professionals are always trying to help, or help people, or make them more better in terms of their health. But the problem here is we have to be as a team, and we have to really understand each other, and we have to educate the person in a right way, so that people get that kind of confidence. Okay, so nutrition is the one which we have to go about. We always say food is the medicine. Okay, so if we don't treat food as a medicine, then we have to eat medicine like food. So it's very
very,
important to understand this phrase.
very truly said, and a very wonderful thing said, Revati, that doctors prescribing medicines and doctors prescribing food nutrition should work hand in hand, because that's a very wonderful thought, because that's when you can I think give a better health, because doctors who prescribing medicines are equally important, because that's when they're trying to help you out of the crucial condition that you're there at that point of time. And if it has to have a long time effect, then I think nutrition is something which comes into the picture, where it has to be a lifestyle change, so that your disease or your ailment does not come back to you. Wonderful you said. We have some comments coming from Dania saying that amazing story of diabetes. We have audience saying hello Varsha, thank you so much for joining us today. Revati, I wanted to understand one thing. When we talk about diabetes, as usually said, ailments like be it diabetes or be it blood pressure, they are genetic. They come to you from your parents, or something which is there in your history. So how far that is true? And if at all, like we know that, okay, in my family, I have this history of probably developing the diabetes, or a blood pressure or any such ailment. So what are these small precautionary measures that as parents we can take our day-to-day lives, which is going to help us keep away from these ailments? So if you could help us in that, will be really nice.
Definitely, yes. So, see, majority of the time, our human tendency is to always try to find a person or a situation to point out, so that we always feel that kind of a pleasure in always blaming something or the other around us,
Right.
and never ever would like to take charge of our life. That's the first thing which has to be addressed. And I really want to share this with all the viewers who are watching this. First of all, gene is like a loaded gun. Only when you going to click on the trigger, then it is going to get fired.
Fire. Yeah.
Otherwise,
Absolutely.
it is going to be always a sleeper cell. No, that gene is never ever going to get opened up. So when it comes to diabetes or hypertension or whatever it is, whatever we've been listing down under genetic or heredity, my question is simple. Say for example, there is a parent, okay, mother and father, and either mother or father is diabetic, okay, and if they have 4 to 5 offsprings, that is 4 to 5 children. So now my question is, if the mother is diabetic, and if we say the so-called gene is the reason for diabetes, then we have to really find out whether all these 5 kids somewhere or the other should be carrying the gene, and are or all the 5 are going to be diabetes. Never. So we hardly see people, all the offsprings getting the diabetes onset, right? This is one. And second thing is that people might even say, okay, what if they are carrying the father's gene? So again, my question is, if we are going to blame genes for everything, we do also have those genes from our ancestors who always had a healthy lifestyle, and they never had any condition of these chronic things, right? There are generations where we hardly knew about diabetes, we hardly heard about, and we also heard about people saying that, my granny got diabetes at the age of 80, my grandfather got diabetes at the age of 70. Then what about at the age of 20 then? So if you are going to say that gene is the problem, the gene, as I said earlier, it is a loaded gun.
True.
Probably the 20-year-old fellow triggered, you know he just pressed the trigger at the age of 20. That's why he ended up having diabetes. So the genetic makeup is like, can be reprogrammed every day by our habits, okay? It need not be every time it is genetics. I have seen so many clients in my experience where they don't have any history of all these things, but still they have ended up having diabetes. So now whom to blame upon,
True.
right?
True.
So we always blame something or the other. The problem here is taking charge of my action, my behavior, my habit is the challenge. And that's where a holistic nutrition coach comes into play. We make them understand it's not um, complaining, I mean, just pointing out on the person saying that you are the reason for your health, but rather we are more compassionate, and we just make them understand why did you end up getting all these things. Because if you take the history, and we come to know that they always had a very unhealthy lifestyle, now that's where our counseling goes. It's not like why did you choose this food, but rather we ask them, what made you choose that food, what kind of an emotion background, or you had those kind of things at that situation of time when you chose that food. And if
Right.
there is something like stopping you to do any kind of exercises, who is stopping you? Nobody. Exercise anybody can do. Choosing
Yeah.
your food, it's absolutely your choice. Nobody is literally going to push the food inside your mouth and they're going to say like eat it every day. No, nobody's going to do that. Everybody are busy with their own work. So it is all
Absolutely.
about, it's all about taking charge of yourself, and it's all about be conscious about yourself, what you do. Because these genes actually they produce certain proteins, and these proteins are being produced by our intake of food only. You can always escape, you can always bypass this genetic things when it comes to chronic health conditions. See, I'm not talking about in terms of your hair color, your skin color, I'm not talking about that. But when it comes to
Yeah.
the health condition, the medical condition, definitely we can bypass this genetic makeup, because we are seeing it, we are practicing it, and we are seeing it, experiencing it. and it's just a blame game. That's what I can say from a expert view.
Absolutely. I think it's all about your choices, it's all about how you choose and what is your lifestyle at the end of it. And certainly, I feel from the conversation, what I understand, Revati, probably is also the emotions that really matter the most. You know, what kind of emotional surroundings you are into, or what kind of healthy environment you have around you. You know, what kind of healthy conversations you have around with your own people with whom you're surrounded, or whom you look up to in life, or the ones who are basically our guiding force. So I think everything matters, you know, at this point of time. So Revati, tell us, does even the traumas, you know, probably there could be some childhood traumas or there could be some adulthood traumas. So does all these also affect your, way you eat and the way it does? How does it affect your health? You know, if you could just,
Okay, so as I said, I always love to handle women clients, and I always love to handle especially PCOS, irregular
yeah,
menstruation. So I one case I would like to just brief about. So this girl, she is like 27-year-old. She came to me saying that, ma'am, I've got this irregular menstruation problem, and I've been suffering with for past 5 to 6 years of time, and every time it's only when I take the pill I get the cycle. Otherwise, if I don't take the pill, I hardly get cycles. Okay, so now what
okay,
happens was, on an average she gets only 3 to 4 cycles in a year. Imagine 12 months, she is able to
okay,
menstruate only 3 to 4 times in a year, that too with the help of medication. Otherwise she
medic,
doesn't. So it has become so that if she wants to menstruate, she take the pill, otherwise she doesn't. Okay,
ah, okay,
and she is on the heavier side. She is on the obese category, and she has to really shut down like 20 to 25 kg. She's in addition to her normal weight. So she came to me and we started with the counseling, and it's always the follow up that helps. So I go with the program. So I run 108-day program. So any client signs up, it is like the 108-day program. So we keep talking every week. There'll be a call, and I just asked her, like, do you really love yourself being a woman? Because as I said earlier, hormones and emotions are connected.
true,
So it's like agentic story. So because of the hormone you have this kind of an emotion, or because of the emotion the hormone is released inside your body. We don't know. It's still going on. The research is still going on, but hormones and emotions are interconnected. So I just wanted to know, because this girl's hormones were imbalanced. She didn't have the hormones at an optimum level. So I asked her, like, how much you love yourself being a woman. She told not much, right? And though she's working, she has a double degree, and she told, like, I don't love myself being a woman. I asked her why. Then she ended up saying so many things from our life, and eventually we went to the stage where she was actually doing a first standard, second standard kind of thing. That's how we went into the deep into the history. And then she told me something which was really an eye opener, how a childhood trauma can affect an adult. Okay, and it wasn't addressed until she came to me. So she told me, ma'am, my mother said me once that she and her relative were talking, and this girl was there when they were talking, and the relative has told her mother. So this client, she is already having an elder sister and an elder brother. So the
okay,
relative was asked, why did you want to have this third child? You could have, simply terminated, because you already have one boy and one girl. Why you want
one
this
girl,
girl?
true,
One
true,
girl, yeah. So she told her mother was a working woman. She lost her career. She, that kind of a, she's a, career oriented woman. So she told, that's fine. Anyway, it is done now. She's almost now, 6, 7 years old. So that is done. So this girl was really shocked, because she is telling me at the age of 27, she's telling me somebody is questioning me, my existence. That's where
ah,
I got shattered. I really got shattered.
true, true,
And you know what? So her mother also used to tell her, it seems, once she were like around 7, 8 years, the same age. So many of them has told her mother when this girl was in the womb of a mother, this is unnecessary, why you want to have this baby. So this was also there inside her. And then the next question came, so what do you think about your menstrual cycle? So I asked her, she told me, okay, menstruation means it connects with me for the reproduction. I told her, okay,
Ah,
so reproduction. Okay, so what do you think about babies? She told, I don't like babies. It was like more curious for me to know a woman
true,
disliking baby. And I asked her,
true.
why you don't like babies? Then she was giving so many explanation. And then eventually she came down to the story of she being inside her mother's womb. And people have always told her like this is an unwanted baby. Look at those things even when you talk, and there are certain things where the baby catch up even inside the womb. That's the reason we always really celebrate the pregnancy period. We always want
True,
the mother to be happy.
true.
And now eventually, see, she never knew what was happening inside her mother's womb, but once she was born, the mother was started narrating all the stories to her. Like generally the mother has this conversation, right? You know what happened when you were inside my womb, your father's family was disturbing me like this, all these stories will go. So these actually create a lot of impact on the child which we are not at all aware. So from the childhood, this girl was having so much of trauma, and she always felt like I never had the love. But though the parents were really supportive, but this girl couldn't enjoy that kind of love showers because she was already being shattered, which never was addressed until she came to me. And now this girl, all these 6 years of struggle where she always on the pills and get the cycle, in the second month she got her cycles naturally. That's how the counseling went on. She opened up a lot, she spoke so much. And the counseling went so well that this girl also suffered with thyroid problem, hypothyroid. Her thyroid was not under control, she was obese, so her metabolism was low. But the moment she vented out so many personal things, the body started healing. And you know what? People always say, like, if you're overweight, then your hormones are going to go haywire. But this client proved me wrong, right? She just lost 5 kg in a span of 3 months, okay? Still on the obese category, but still she was able to menstruate regularly even after that. So still she is in
Yeah.
connect. So she used to tell me she's getting her cycles again. She hasn't lost much weight, but still she's able to regularize. So emotions plays a very vital role, and also the nutrients, right kind of nutrients is very much essential. So childhood trauma, very important to be addressed.
Absolutely. I mean, I totally agree with you on this. Revati, we have a question from one of our visitors, and Diti is saying that she feels tired at the end of the day. So, is there anything that she can really do? Maybe what it can cause, or probably how is it that you would guide her that her day should go so that she has the more energy levels, or that kind of I would say that kind of boost that she should have through the day, going through the day. It should not happen at the end of the day she's feeling tired and she's fatigued or whatever. So how could you what would you guide her on this?
See, for being tired, and there are lot of reasons. Okay, so there are so much of reasons for that. So I can just list out a few, probably, I guess Deepthi, right? So Deepthi can just cross check whether anything fits in. Otherwise, I feel like then you have to
Yes.
get one on one with me. So there are so many things. First thing is like, are you really nourishing yourself throughout the day? That is very important. Right kind of nutrition. Are you having your meals on a regular time? And are you really balancing your diet every meal and taking enough fruits, enough vegetables? Hydration plays a very important role, where one case it was completely the hydration which really elevated my client's energy levels. Check for your hydration. Are you taking less than 1 liter of water per day? Just increasing the water content itself will give you a very good energy boost. So this is in terms of food, but it is very subjective to answer. But these are all the reasons which has to be addressed. This is one. Second thing, coming to the sleep, we have to really find out whether she's getting adequate good quality sleep and the quantity sleep. That is very important. If she's a person who's like, spending more of time on the screen and sleeping just for 5 hours or 4 hours, then that could be a reason, because only during the sleep the body repairs itself. Otherwise it doesn't happen. It could be like, more of compensated way of doing it, compromising doing way of doing it. So it is very important that they have to have a very good quality sleep. And now, being a holistic coach, definitely the emotions has to be addressed. So now once you wake up, first of all she has to understand what kind of a feeling or emotion she's going through, or what kind of the dialogue she talks to herself throughout the day matters a lot. Say for example, if I wake up, probably because of so she's saying yes, no water intake. So probably because of what happens is, I say for example, if I wake up 30 minutes late for the day, right? So I keep on focusing on the 30 minutes delay, but rather I can actually shift my focus in the remaining time what I can do more effectively, right? The moment I feel like, okay, aaj 30 minutes late ho gaya, so what happens is like, I keep on telling myself, to my inner self, that I'm not good enough, so I'm going to lag, I'm going to miss this complete day. So every time you keep on doing it, what happens is, with that mindset you involve in every activity, obviously you start draining your energies, and you don't have enough energy to actually do any constructive work for the day. Rather you are using your energy for a destructive thing, and the energies are going to drain, it is not going to help you in any way. So the emotion matters. How you feel on waking up, how you feel in the mid of the day or in the mid morning, then post lunch, then evening, everything matters. So when you summarize and see, obviously at the end of the day you feel like you didn't perform well for the day as planned, and obviously you feel tired. If you would have really performed well, achieved everything, trust me, even you don't eat, you get that kind of energy boost from within. It all matters with your happiness, or you feel that lack, I'm not good enough. So what is it that she has to address?
Lovely. Dipti, we really hope that we have answered your query. Our guest has answered your query. If you have any more questions, you can certainly put in to us. So, Revati, tell us, what is it something that you really love about this journey? Because a lot of people find that kind of satisfaction in seeing that there are some positive impacts happening in somebody else's life, or somebody else is being happy at the end of it. So, what's your take? What is it that you love about your journey?
Oh, see, there are so many emotional connects has happened because of, sorry, so there are so many emotional connect has happened because of this journey. This is like, I always have that kind of a bond beyond that professional level. So I've always got that kind of one among their family. So whenever a client comes to me and say, ma'am, I've been suffering with this condition for so many years, and now suddenly I've got that kind of relief in just 3 months, and that too with the right nutrition, and that too you have really got out of me from the medication, so there is no dependency. So these things really matters, because end of the day everybody wants to live happily, right? No matter what, whether we have money or
Yes.
car. So imagine if a person is really really wealthy, but the health condition is not permitting him or her to enjoy to the best, then it doesn't make any sense. So I know one client, when I was working in a clinic, the doctor used to say about the client, the patient is a billionaire, he has so much of wealth, but unfortunately he's a diabetic, and he didn't take care of his sugars properly, so because of that he lost both his limbs. Okay, so now he has a driver, okay, who actually takes care of him completely, right? So now what happens is, wherever he go, he is a really a big shot, so wherever he's been invited, he will take the driver along with him. Okay, driver is hale and healthy, he is enjoying all his what's say fortunes because of his owner, because the owner is not able to. So even if he goes to a five-star hotel, the driver actually escort him, because he is the one who shifts him to the wheelchair and again mobilize him everything. So the
Yeah.
driver is actually leading a very rich life, but rather this fellow, he's not able to eat anything, he's not able to enjoy his life, and he's dependent on somebody. Okay. So this is what it creates. So after I started with my private practice, it is like I become the owner, I become the sole responsibility. So I have n number of possibilities where I can really trial and error all my learnings. So many a times people have told me that you are just amazing, you are like, you have time, you are giving us time to listen, and that is what more important. Many a times, even though I have hardly given, in some cases I've hardly given dietary interventions, the more we talk, the more we connect personally, or rather I can say the more we connect with them heart to heart, that itself create a big impact. And I am truly blessed because there are so many clients who always invite me for their house, and they want to really treat me well and other stuff. It gives me that kind of a satisfaction which has to be experienced rather than expressing in words.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I think communication today is a major thing because I think we are so running around with our lives, so busy with our lives, and at times we have the fear of being judgmental, so we don't speak out. And then if we find someone in whom we can confide, then I think that's the best way, because that's we get out of our thoughts, of our feelings, and release our emotions. And I think that's very, very important. I think you're doing a wonderful job in this, Revati. Kudos to you. And I think I think a lot of people who work today would agree it's a job which we all should really have a big gratitude towards you for being there, listening to people, and helping them come out of their emotional setbacks in life, which is very important. So Revati, tell us what kind of challenges that you also face in this journey, so what are at times, when people don't want to talk, or if they are not they don't get the comfort level of talking, so what are the challenges and how do you look at overcoming them?
Right. Just a minute, I'll be back. Just a minute.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Now, so, friends, here we are today talking to Revati Prasad, who is a holistic nutrition coach, and she's also founder of Revati's Diet and Destiny. So, any requirements, if you have, if you need to look at having a holistic life with nutrition, she is your go-to person. And today we are connected on this platform through WEDO. I would like to mention here, WEDO is the Women Entrepreneurship Development Organization, where we look at empowering women financially, where we also look at providing them trainings. There are e-learning platforms. There are opportunities to network, to collaborate at pan India level, where you are sitting in Mumbai or sitting in Chennai, sitting in Bangalore, you can connect with your like-minded entrepreneurs across the city and look at increasing your business. Look at also collaborating and coming up with new products. So this is the power of we connecting together. And as you can see today, we are also connected on this platform. We bring to you your expertise. We bring to the audience what kind of expertise you have and how we help you to grow your business, your name, and of course your brand. So this is we do. You can look. There is information given here about we do, how you can join we do. It's as economical as only 500 a month, and there you get a lot of value for money. So do give it a thought. Our website is www.vdo.org.in/club, where you will get more benefits, information about the benefits about joining the We Do Club. So we have our speaker back. Yes, Revati, we were in conversation with you and you were telling us about the difficulties. Please go ahead.
Yes. So, as you said, it is like how I see as a coach. Say, for example, if a client is not able to open up, then you rightly said a term called judgmental. So, as a holistic coach, first training what we got from Dr. Suresh Kumar, who is a mentor, being a coach, you have to be first non-judgmental. That's the basic quality. No, it
Yeah,
is like I have to listen as if like, okay, this person has come to me to share his pain or her pain, and she has come to me in a belief that there will be a solution, right? So now if I start judging the with the vibration, so we always we spoke about the energies and other stuff. So that kind of a vibration, the energy what I emit will make them stop, and they will not even open up. And it becomes more and more difficult if they really keep everything within themselves, because otherwise it's very difficult for us to heal them also. So first thing is like being non-judgmental, and we have to have another quality which is called honest curiosity. So why did this person end up with this medical condition? What emotion, what thought, what is the story, what is her story? So we have to have that kind of a curiosity, and we have to vibrate that no matter what, I'm going to help this person to get out of this medical condition. Now that kind of a compassionate feeling, I have to vibrate. We coaches has been trained in such a way that we have to do that. This is one. And how much ever you do, of course there could be more and more challenges. I have come across such kind of clients where people hardly open up. There are certain things, but rather than thinking of like, oh my god, they are not opening up, now what I will do, I need to take it up as a challenge. So what is it, what is the opportunity if they don't open up? Then I actually shift towards a little bit of clinical side, more of diet, try to earn little more trust, make them feel comfortable. So they come with n number of complaints. So it could be even a simple burping issue. They might say like, ma'am, I always burp a lot, give me something, I want to get rid of this. Even if I'm going to do something, and if the burping really comes under control, I earn a trust, and immediately they are going to open up with me. So everything matter, and everything is a challenge definitely is when the person is not opening up. Then we have to take up route another route, and it one day or the other they are going to open up. And I do have clients who never opened up until the program got over also, but still they were able to see some results, because all that is our intention matters. If a person comes to me, it is not just I'm giving them the service, but rather it is like exchange of energies what's happening. So if my intention is like, if I am very much adamant, no matter what, okay, now she has come to me or he has come to me, and I have to deliver, or my intention is to heal them, trust me, universe is going to conspire everything for us. I mean, we really don't have to worry about how that will be taken care by the universe. We have to just worry about what I need to do, what can I do. So it's like a magic, it does work. And this is how the maximum challenge or the difficulty what I face is these things. But still we have to, certain things go beyond in the quantum field, quantum side. So that's how the
Yes.
practice actually works.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think today, yes, law of manifestation is really important, because what you really want is what you manifest, and that really works, because that's what you're looking at, that's what you're thinking all the time, and that's what. So I think it's all about belief, and as you rightly said, emotions is something which everyone is scared of. Why? Because if you present yourself, and if the opposite person is either going to take a disadvantage or is going to judge you on those based on those emotions, and that fear is what people don't want to open up today. And I think you're doing a wonderful job in here, where you are actually allowing them to talk their heart out, and still not being judgmental about them, but helping them to overcome the situation or change the situation. I think it's really very, very important today. So Revati, one more thing in this is procrastination. People generally tend to I think it's a way of taking things for granted as well. So I want you to help us with some tips that how we could really look at overcoming the procrastination when it comes to our emotions, and it comes to our health and nutrition, because I think that's the
Right.
most ignored part. Yeah.
See, I would rather say procrastination is an amazing thing which everyone has to follow. Okay. But the problem here is, where do we apply this procrastination? That's where the common sense comes. See, let me tell you honestly, I
Yeah.
am a person who used to procrastinate a lot, a lot. And it was like it became very evident when I started journaling, when I started understanding myself. And then slowly, suddenly, my inner voice was telling me, if procrastination is a problem, we can definitely see if something is a problem, why it is there in the existence. There should be some reason, right? So then I started talking to myself, saying that, okay, if you want to see Insta Reels or if you want to see a YouTube video, we can always apply this procrastination over there also, right?
True.
Okay.
True,
So
true.
we always use this procrastination, unfortunately, in the area where there is a lot of scope for productivity. Okay.
Right.
What I would suggest as a coach is procrastination can be utilized in areas where you look for instant gratification. You know, so you can definitely use this procrastination for your good. You can definitely use it for that. But the challenge here is you have to be aware to that level. Okay, so I can, you see, simple. Before I see, even if I'm going to spend some 30 minutes in phone or something or the other, and you very well know it is not going to serve you, why don't you talk to yourself, okay, if I want to see this 30 minutes of video, let me do some 10 minutes of workout, right? Some 10 minutes of something useful, let me read as a blog, or let me write. If you're good in writing, just write and then go. See, it is always the reward matters, but keep the reward little bit away and do this work and then use the reward, then you feel really good about it. See, we never ever regret of doing, oh my god, I did that exercise, rather I could have spent some time on YouTube. We never going to do that, right?
True, true.
Obviously, you feel good about yourself, so start doing simple small things. And procrastination can be used for your benefit, your plus, provided you know how it has to be used. So that kind of an awareness is very much important.
Wonderfully said. Today you've given a different perspective to procrastination. Till date, we all had the thing that, okay, procrastination is something which is very bad. But that bad thing, how good can we use it? This is a wonderful example. Revati, thank you so much. We have our guest, Pavi Maragani, saying that, excellent, Revati. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your lovely encouragement. And thank you so much. Yes. So, Revati, now that we're connected on this platform of WeDo, we're together on this platform. That's how we connected. That's how we got to know each other. So, like to know how WeDo has played a role in your life. What are the kind of changes it has brought to you, or how has it benefited you? If you could just even enlighten our audience on how the platform has really helped you grow.
Right. So, see, knowing Vidu itself is like a very precious moment, I can say. Like, I got the Visionary Women Award from Vidu, so that's how I came to know about Vidu existence. And after joining Vidu, I can definitely say, see, I have attended Kadambari ma'am's this business marketing training program, and one session, in one such session, she was asking certain questions, right? And see, me being a nutritionist, we hardly knew all about this, marketing or business strategy or your target audience. It is always a vague thing what we don't really look into.
Correct.
And that session really gave me an eyesight when she asked us to list down certain things in terms of questions. I was like literally started thinking. It was really a thought provoking session, I can say.
True.
Then I started, okay, so Revati, no, these are all the questions you don't have answer. Now you have to start working on it so that you have a better clarity, like where you want to hit, what kind of audience you want to really help, what is your target audience, where is your strength, and how you can really reach them, creating more visibility to them. So that session really helped me. And definitely, as you said, it's a collaborative platform, or it is like, you can always collaborate, you have more visibility. In fact, after joining WeDo, I've got members themselves signing up with me for the program, for the nutrition program. And as of now, luckily, it is like very few people, I can say, like, but I can just count in fingers. There are hardly nutritionists inside right now. So I have a very good market, because I now I'm going to have a very good rapport with all the WeDo members. And
Yes.
now got selected as vice president. Now it is giving me more and more responsibility of connecting with
True.
WeDo people. And it see, more you connect, then you come to understanding, like, okay, these are all the areas where still, there is scope for, this nutritionist can work. As a coach, I can help them out. So definitely yes, we do is reinforcing certain things. Definitely yes, it is nothing to deny, or I completely go with that. It is a very good platform where women can share their stories of, like, it actually, when you share each other's the story, it really inspires each other, and it is like resonating the energies, like you get that vibe, and you get more and more confidence and hopes. Okay, we have markets still open, and we definitely have the scope to grow and flourish. So it is like flourishing, along with everybody. It is not only that person, particular person, but that's what I really feel happy about it. The value Kadambari ma'am creates is like,
Yes.
it's something uh, very commendable, I can say. Until I spoke to her one on one, I never knew what's Vidu's vision and what is it happening, what the club is all about. The moment I connected, just for once only, but I really had that kind of a hope. Oh wow, I'm in the right club. It's not, just like one among the club. It is something definitely unique, and I would definitely recommend Vidu.
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
definitely I will suggest all women entrepreneurs to experience at least 1 month. So it's a very good thing. Month on month renewable subscription is a very good thing, I can say. I guess
Yeah.
they have to definitely get into it, experience it.
Certainly, the kind of aura Kadambari brings in is something, which everyone feels so connected, so wanted. I think that feeling that she gives all of us, amongst all the members, is just not about that. Okay, I'd only be with the leaders. Be it any member. She knows, she understands. She's there to encourage. She's there to support. She's there to mentor. I think having so many in one person is such a wonderful thing, and I think today we all Viduans are feel so blessed that we have this platform, so that where we can express, we can talk, we can approach. We are not judged, and we are supported. So friends, this is just not about being a member of the club. If you are starting up in your entrepreneurial journey, or if you wish to start up your entrepreneurial journey, or you already started an entrepreneurial journey but don't know how to take it forward, or if you know already how you're settled or you're taking it forward but need more information, or rather need more kind of training to how to grow it more further, this is the kind of platform you should be there. Because our monthly trainings are something which are basically helping you day every day to grow with small small things that you need to do, how you need to do, why you need to do, and how it's going to benefit you. So I think each and every element is being taught by to us by our mentor Kadambari, and a lot of effort has been taken by the entire team to put this all together, to keep the teams together, to keep the members together, and we are all there to connect with each other, help each other, collaborate, and look at building ourselves and expanding our horizons as well. Before we wind up the session, we have a message from Pavi Maragani. She is saying that procrastination is beautifully explained. I totally agree with you. This is the first time I'm listening a positive way to procrastination, and I'm really happy to know that. So this is going to we all are going to definitely implement it. So friends, today we really had a elaborate, extensive session on how emotions are helping, or rather, emotions are affecting our lifestyle, and taking it, or rather, that's why we are getting into the kind of diseases that we are. So why is it necessary to come out of it and live a healthy lifestyle? So, Revati, before we really close the session, if you could just give us some quick tips on nutrition, like how the day should be, and what kind of nutrition should also be a part of our daily diet, so it will be really helpful for our audience.
See, basically, it's a habit formation, Swapna. So, what we have to really focus on is build your habits. That's it. So, it is not about just following a diet plan. That is never going to help us in any way. So, because food, as I already said, it is a more of a comfort zone for a person. Suddenly, I get into somebody's life, and I'm going to say, "Hey, you're not going to eat all these things, and you're going to eat something else, which he or she never ever practiced to eat." So it is not going to work. So my simple tip is simply go step by step. Say for example, just assess, see, everybody know what they need to eat. More than a dietitian, a common layperson definitely know what they need to eat. We know it better because we know what nutrients is very much important in terms of when it comes to health, and especially for the health condition, for I can say. So to start with, if you feel that you're not eating enough fruits, I would rather suggest them to go at least to one fruit a day. That's it. Don't change any other thing in your day-to-day routine. You're eating your breakfast, continue eating that. You continue with your regular lunch and continue with your regular dinner. What I would suggest you is just go with one fruit a day, at least for the first week. Now second week, now start including two fruits a day. Again, continue with the same meal, whatever the diet plan. So when you're going to just add one fruit, it is not going to make much difference to you as a person when it comes to a habit formation, right? It
Right.
becomes easy. I'm not asking you, I'm not stopping your samosa or your pizza, your burger. Eat everything, whatever you want, right? But try to eat one fruit a day. Now, what happens here is when you start taking fruits, you start getting certain nutrients to your body. Eventually, slowly, you start seeing, experiencing, or observing that your bowel movements are becoming better, or sometimes even you don't even crave for junk food, right? So one fruit a
Yes.
day, sometimes what happens is if a person is eating two samosas per day, probably he or she will stop with one samosa, right? So everything is a step by step process. So if you want to eat some salad, don't immediately prepare a bowl full of salad which you are not at all used up with. Many people doesn't like the raw vegetables. Rather, you
Right.
can go with some 4 to 5 slices of cucumber a day. Continue that for 7 days. Then go add some carrot slices in day week 2. It's like it's a very small baby step. We always learned the alphabets first, then the words, then the framing the sentences. That's how we learned, right? Nobody learned any language for that matter directly to its the higher version of it. Diet is
True.
also something similar to that. Food is also something similar to that. It is easy. All that is, you need that consistency, the determination, and the focus on what you want to build upon. For that, definitely they need to reach out to a professional guidance. That's what I suggest, highly recommend.
Absolutely true, because what kind of food will go, fruits rather, will be nice or helpful, like especially when it comes to diabetes, the foods with heavy sugar are not recommended. So to friends, to understand what is your right kind of food, you certainly need to connect with a proper dietitian. Or if you feel that we have added value to you, our numbers are already there on the screen. You can connect with us. Our email address is there, as well as our Insta ID is also there. You can connect with us. And yes, I think we all should today pledge to take care of our emotional health, because once we take care of our emotional health, is going to basically take us to a healthy living, is what the message today we are getting from our coach. Dipti is saying it's a super session, and yes, it's really nice. Yes, Dipti, thank you so much for your kind words and so much of encouragement. Thank you, Swati, for joining us and telling us it's an amazing session. Yes, a wonderful session today, Revati. Wonderful conversations, more about how the holistic approach has to be, then only focusing on nutrition. But yes, adding one fruit a day is a message that has come to us from our guest. So slowly making those small changes is going to take us to a healthy life. So thank you so much, Revati. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving me so much of your time and adding such a wonderful value, and talking to us about how emotion is helping and how the diseases are going to affect our body, which I think I'm sure a lot of people have really got a better idea, and they will definitely work towards creating themselves a better version of their own self. So thank you so much, Revati, and thank you so much, Vidu, for this platform. And we will again see you tomorrow with yet another entrepreneur who will come with their expertise. So stay connected, keep watching us, and signing off tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
Revati.
Swapna, for hosting,
Thank you.
and thank you so much, Vidu, for this opportunity. Thank you so much, viewers, whoever joined us live. Thank you so much.
Thank you.